Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Gleevac. So I wanted to, first off, wanted to say this is going to be a new series I'm starting. I've taken some time, as you saw the past 2 weeks, just to let my mouth heal. Because if you guys all know, I got jaw surgery and that shit really fucked me up. So I'm trying to take some time and start making videos again. Generally, as you guys know, I came off a really shitty last semester of school. And I just had to like stop everything. And I'm at 100% again. Thankfully, so I kind of wanted to start doing content again. I am starting to work like a regular job. I work every summer at a summer camp, and I really enjoy that kind of job. But on the side, I want to do content again, and generally start doing this kind of stuff. So, because as you guys know, life happens, and it really gets in the way of things you love to do. So I'm kind of wanting to come back and do this stuff again. So this is the first gameplay I got. This is actually my first game in like 2 weeks, I think, or something. I didn't play Overwatch for the entire time while I was letting my mouth heal. So I figured this would be a good time to start a new series I've been wanting to do for a while. This is actually what I started my channel off of. I started it off of just helping you guys get better. That's how I started getting traction when I was playing on console, and how I generally started getting my name out there. So I figured I would kind of come back to my roots here with kind of starting to make content more regularly again. And I just kind of wanted to walk you through some of my thought processes and what I do when I'm playing. I found that I'm a player who I rely heavily on my gut feelings to play. That is something that I've kind of so this is gonna sound a little insane, but what way I've kind of fundamentalized, if that's even the right word to say in this sentence, my gameplay style is I think a lot. Whenever I start playing a new game, I start thinking a lot. I'm like, okay, so what is the best way to play this game? What can I do to improve? And I take notes of everything I do right, and I keep doing them. Everything I do wrong, I make a mental note. I say to myself, okay, don't never do that again. And so that starts to become you know, as you learn something, it becomes part of your memory, right? You know, that's a big scientific fact there. You know, not a lot of people really know that. But so as you learn, or as I start to learn, I start basing things off my gut feelings, because the way I think, at least, is I feel things. I know, like I said, this is going to sound insane, but I feel things, and then I turn it into patterns I do over and over again, and I generally try to shut off my brain when I play, because I'm sure you guys can relate to this. In shooters, it's really often that you'll be playing and you'll want more, right? You'll go for, like, you might have like a triple feed or something, right? And then you'll be like, oh shit, I want to get this quad feed, but it might not be the best thing to do in that certain situation. So that's your brain thinking, right? But deep inside, you know, like deep inside, what am I saying? Your gut's like, you know, this is a bad idea, dude. Don't do this. So that's what I try to focus on. I actually think about like how my stomach feels when I'm playing. And that's why I've kind of had this consistent play pattern, if that makes any sense. So now that I've kind of explained like how I think I did that pretty well. I kind of want to get into how I guess like what I can improve, or what I see from watching this gameplay, about how what I did wrong and what I saw other people do wrong, in my opinion, and what I think they can do better, what I can do better, why I like played like shit in a certain situation. For one, as you guys probably can know this already, since my first game in probably like 2 weeks of playing or something a while ago, you can see my shot is a little, like I'll hit some shots and I'll just miss some stupid fucking shots, like right there, for example. I should hit that headshot. Generally, what I found when I come back from playing for a while is I get frantic, right? Like I'm really uncomfortable playing, like my mouse doesn't feel good. Like, if one indicator, by the way, too, that I find when I determine how well I'm going to play for a day is sometimes you play like on console, or if you just play you know, on PC with mouse, you put your hand on your mouse, you put your hands on your controller, and it just feels good, right? Like you feel like you're ready to play. That is all based on alertness and how good your mood is, in my opinion. That's how I kind of figure out how if I'm going to play well or not, or even if I play Overwatch at all, because I don't play this game when I'm in a bad mood, because it doesn't lead to anything good. Going back to what I was saying earlier about how if I notice I'm playing like shit after not playing for a while, I get kind of frantic. And this can apply to any situation, which I see a lot of Widowmakers do actually, or people just players in general, is they'll start kind of freaking out, right? They'll start trying to increase how fast they're shooting in hopes of alleviating that feeling of franticness. They'll just start shooting, just making just not as smart shots as what they should be, which is, as playing as Widow, you want to be very, very careful with what you're doing. But like right there, for example, I feel very uncomfortable in the Widowmaker role, because there's a lot like this is just me on the point right here, right? And that was a big healer, as Ana. It's all up to me, right? If I take down Ana or not. But instead, I kind of messed up right there. But what you want to do in those situations, you just kind of honestly like I treat it like a real life situation, like a tactical situation. Or something is I stop and breathe. I just start focusing on the breath through my nose, and I try to just kind of center myself and make sure I'm focused. I do it as often as I can, but when it comes, especially when you play for like 2 weeks, anybody's not going to play as well as they normally do, or do everything they should. So what I should have done right there was I should have calmed down and kind of tried to focus on what I really should have been doing the entire situation. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to go back into tips I found in this map that are helpful for me and things I've noticed. As you saw there, I tried to switch a tracer to maybe get a few kills while I was stalling, but instead I got shot in the face, or hit in the face with the Junkrat tire. By the way, I've only played a couple hours in Tracer, so I'm still kind of working on my tracking and everything, but it's getting there. But what I found with the second point is that you don't want to let anybody in. That's, by the way, on Overwatch, you don't want to let them capture the point. Now, what I was trying to say was that you want to try to hold the point. You want to try to do as good a job as you can from them letting them into the point, because once they're in, it's gonna be really hard to kill them, because you could literally get spawn shot. I think you saw earlier there was a Junkrat ulting and a fucking Reinhardt sitting in the spawn, we couldn't get out, we couldn't move. I don't know if it happened yet or if it happens in the future, but I mean it's just I don't really understand that map design, but I mean I assume Blizzard knows what they're doing, so there's that. But alright, going back to where that death, that's one role as Widow, is you want to be, you're going to be really vulnerable standing still, and in my opinion, Widow 1v1s don't take a lot of skill. I can go into like 5 videos on Widow 1v1s and how to play them and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. But what I found is that you want to know where they are first, and then you want to make sure that when you peek, you don't, it's not a stupid peek, right? You want to figure out where they are, and you might even want to just forget about them for like 10 seconds, because people in this game have very short attention span. They're gonna see something else, and then they're just gonna just completely forget about you, because there's so much going on in this game that you need to focus on. So what I try to do is I'll figure out where the Widow is, and then I'll kind of like hang around. I'll plan on peeking them at some point. Maybe I'll change my position if it feels like a good idea. Like I said, going back to the gut feelings, things I've taught myself. And so what I try to do is I'll hide for a little bit, and then I'll poke out like 10 to 15 seconds later, and then just see it and wait, because if it's been 10 to 15 seconds, most players will generally have forgotten about you. And they'll be focused on somebody else, so you want to take your time, right? You want to make sure your shot's gonna land. Now, in this particular instance of the game, you can see where I talk about that I start getting frantic again, because this is a big point. We really shouldn't be losing this, and I started to kind of mess up my shots a little bit with that honor right there. I focused. You could see I started making more accurate shots, especially right here with this Lucio headshot. I started to slow down. I kind of calmed myself down. Now, one thing that I noticed right here is the Winston. This is the prime example of playing with your head as opposed to your gut. Is, Widowmaker pisses people off. That's just kind of how it goes. And this Winston was pissed off, I assume, and he was, you know, just following me, right? All he could see was me. He wasn't thinking about the game. Regardless of whether he my screen just froze, but regardless of whether he should have stayed on the point if he was going to live through that or not, he shouldn't have followed me like that, because he's already low on health. He's going into our spawn, or the majority of our teammates are. I see a lot of Winstons doing that, especially other Widowmakers too. Is they're so consumed by the feeling of needing to kill the other the Widow, generally, you know, with Widow versus Widow or Winston versus Widow, is all they can think about is trying to kill the other Widow. Like you'll notice that, well, for instance, in your guys' Widow battles, that I don't know if you do that do it as well, but I encourage you not to. Is you see the other Widow, right, and you feel there's such an impending feeling of, I need to kill this person, but it might not even be that big of a deal, because I see a lot of people in game, they're like, oh, we need to kill this Widow, we need to kill this Widow, when in reality the Widow really isn't doing that much. And it might be smarter to go after a healer pick or something. This all kind of like stems from the feeling of the fearful feeling. What am I saying? The fear, you're gonna die, right? You know, you feel like you're gonna die. You feel like okay, I could die any second, and this is terrifying. And so what you try to do, you try to get rid of that, right? This is what a lot of people don't really focus on in Overwatch, in my opinion, is how the feelings affect how they play. Anyway, but you know, you have a sniper shooting down at you, and you're so scared that you're gonna die. In reality, you know, you know, they probably aren't going to kill you, or maybe they will. But you just want to get rid of that feeling. So I encourage you all to, you know, try to like really focus on, like, you know, what should I terminalize this? What do I say, dude? What should I terminal? What should I terminology this? There we go. What should I terminology this as? Let's go with the Gleevac feeling. No, the Gleevac. What's a good one here? The Gleevac perception of stuff. There we go. That's what I'll call this. I'm pretty sure other people think how I do in this game. Of course, they. What the fuck am I saying? But that's what we're going with right there. Okay. So right here, going into the second point, I'm trying to be really careful of I'm getting those picks. For example, right there, you see how frantic? I saw that Mercy. I missed a stupid shot I would normally hit if I hadn't stopped playing for 2 weeks. So here I'm coming in trying to make sure I get the picks I need to and get this point. But instead, this pro Junkrat comes out in just a second here, and he decides to really show me how to play the game. And so. You know, there he goes. He gets 2, right? And he gets 3, and he gets 4. And that, you know, that's what you don't even need to play with. You just need to play Junkrat. If you want to enjoy yourself and carry your team, you gotta play as Junkrat. It's coming in here. I feel like it's a lot safer to, like, for example, in Hunter Mirror, to peek the main gate and to take your time with the shot. As opposed to going, if I go up right here, that's a lot more dangerous. I have that Winston right there, for example. I think he was a little bit too focused on me here because I had a healer beside me, and there he goes ulting, and then we grab the point. For example, why you shouldn't think with your head when you play this game. Unless you're like, you die and you're like, okay, well, I didn't do that right. What did that do? What could I have improved on? And then just that's when I think is trying to set new play patterns or whatever. So yeah, that was my first game on the Lunar Assault Colony, whatever this map's called. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm going to start trying to when I have the energy and time to create more content and stream again. It's something I really miss doing, and I just kind of need to take time to recover from the surgery and just kind of get my head back after that horrible semester at school I had. Yeah, so that's that, and hope to see you guys in the next video.